And we're back. It has been a couple of weeks since I done my last video, and the reason I haven't really done one lately is because I've been so busy. Had a couple new projects coming in, a bit of a shuffle round again, seems to be the catchphrase of every video. But the Nash is now forward and sitting over the chassis while I actually make the structure to go across. I'll show you that in a minute. But the two new projects that I've got in, the bike has come in for a custom rear end for a kind of modern interpretation of a calf racer style. And then I've also got the Morris Oxford. This is just in for basically body repairs because someone has had a go at it before, which again seems to happen a lot. All for people having a go, but please just do it right. So yeah, basically where all the new paint is on this, that's all the suspicious areas. It's like the painter done the metal work and the metal work was done by the painter. So that's the thing. I'm suspicious of all the fresh paint areas. So I can show you one of the suspicious areas down on the rear quarter. So as you can see, they've done a repair on the arch here. So chased all the little pinholes along here, put a repair section underneath, but left a rusty section above it. Repaired that section there, but then still the rear quarter isn't actually attached, which isn't really ideal for that kind of situation. And then we go over to the other side, and then the other side is, I'll probably say it's worse. Again, so we got a patch on top of a patch, and then another patch down here, and so just constant repairs on top of each other, which really isn't good. And then they've also repaired the front wing at some point by literally cutting it and then wedging it behind with a new top wing, which would have been good, but the new bit was rusty anyway, so they've just replaced the problem with a problem there. So yay! Also, all the gaps are off down the bonnet, and actually it looks like they've done a repair on the inside because that's all kinked and doesn't follow the line at all. So that's going to be another thing I'll have to look into. The structure in the wings. The front panel is all split, isn't attached. That's just where it's rotten away. I've got to pop the glasses out. The interior is stripped out, so that means I can go ahead and do all the welding. There's no fuel tank in there. So that's where I've made good progress on it here. I've actually had someone helping me out with that, which has been, you know, so much easier when you've got someone else that can help you out and just do stuff in the background while you're, you know, focusing on some of the main bits that you really need to get done. The Mark II Escort made good progress on this as well. So all the repairs as such on the back end are all done. The doors are on, they are finished. All the structures, the skins have been basically welded and flashed off so you can't see any of the weld. So it's just nice to actually have you know, a solid door on there without any chance of any cracking or distortion. And then finished off where it all joins on the quarters. Also have leaded the rear end, the tops of the quarters, as it would have been from factory, because it's one of these things a lot of people would probably change for modern filler, but if it's how it was done in factory and that bit seemed to last, so I'll keep it as it was, because that is what I can do on my part with the lead work. So that's all lead loaded, lead filled, whatever you want to call it. The rear of the quarter now is brazed, so that's actually done with TIG braze. So it is the same effect as you would get when you just do normal brazing as they would have from the factory as well. So it's nice to keep those certain touches still there as it would have been from original. It makes the restoration even like closer or as close as you can get it. So I've still got a braze fill where this the back panel here below the window joins to the quarter on both sides. I've still got to do those. And we have now removed the front wing off of here because there were some suspect areas underneath, and yeah, it was pretty rotten underneath there. The gaps were all off on the wings and they just couldn't move it because they were puddle welded in, but then there was patches on patches, especially around the backs of the lights, and the bottom of the front panel, that wasn't actually attached, which does become an issue for any paint work or any future work along there. It's just going to crack, and even filler work, you know, won't be able to hold that together. But apart from that, yeah, moving on to the front end, that's going to be good. Doors are all gapped up, so it means I can gap the wings up to the doors now and basically work it in sections while moving forward throughout the whole thing. Onto the truck. Not really much progress on this again. Still waiting on a few bits, and also it's going to be going over to paint and also getting upholstered. So we've still got to work through that yet, which basically is going to be a new truck, and it's really going to make the difference when it's all done. But straightened out a lot of the front section because that had been in an accident at some point. And then I've still got to do some work on the valance over there where the gaps just aren't lining up properly. They're just a little bit too tight, and part of it even tucks underneath the bumper, which is not ideal. The bubble car, I'm not sure I was last time on that. So the back panel was all in, spot welded in the bulkhead. The floor is now ready to be spot welded in. And also the last week managed to sell another one of those bubble car floor pans, which is good. That's gone up to Scotland, so that's keeping the project rolling for someone else's project there, which is it's great to actually see people making progress and have that little bit to do with it as well, just so you can add that little part that doesn't make them stop progress. It keeps the ball rolling. But yeah, on the bench, you'll probably see this white piece here. This is actually the template for the Morris Oxford. This is a template of the rear quarter. So I'm going to, well, I've already done it, transferred it to the metal to make a slightly oversized cut. So I can now remake the rear quarters for that, and keep the ball rolling on that one. Then other bits I'm making for the Nash, I've got the rear tubs, and that's the rear, well, the all the seal section put together. So yeah, rear tubs, the seal section, that's for the three pieces that will go together. This section is the inner seal, so this section will go up towards the dashboard. This is where the step over is. That will join along the flat section there, and then there's the outer seal and the shut line for the door. So it's nice to actually have that whole section replaced and know that that is going to be strong enough, because the original inner seal was basically just a water trap. So got rid of that, made up a new one which has drain holes in, and that's gonna, you know, it will replace any of that rot that was there, and made sure to get rid of all of the rot in that area. But then it also means that there's a less likely chance of it happening, you know, for future purposes. This is planning ahead. It's not just hiding the problem, it is solving the problem, which is good. But yeah, so the tub's going to go in there, and once those seals are in, that's the main structural piece to start messing about with all the other sections and making progress. But yeah, just like you can see how much I've got going on, so it's a bit crazy at the moment. I've got someone helping me out a bit at the moment, so that's good, but don't know if I need someone else weighing up at the moment. We'll see. But yeah, so keep an eye out for the progress I'm making. I'll try and update more often, keep you guys informed on any changes, and even the little bits I'm going to try and focus on now, instead of doing just things that I find interesting. I think there is stuff out there that other people will find interesting as well, and that's the main thing. Keep other people interested too. So keep updated, and I'll let you know what the progress is, and yeah, keep an eye out. See what happens.